irritating.
Mama said you're meant to burn as bright as a star among the midnight sky. All the pressure blinded me, but now I see I'm not different from the rest. You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm close to hit the ground. You said I'd fly away. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on We're all searching for that open door. Show me proof that there is something more. I just hope I am okay with the choices I make. Maybe then I'll understand. You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm close to hit the ground. You said I'd fly away. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on falling.
We're just going to wait for more people to come in. So, yeah.
I'm sorry that I didn't hit you back when you call my line. Or did you even need to talk? Or you wasting time declining all your FaceTime calls? Cause you're not my vibe, but God just let me go to sleep. Someone get high with me. Yeah, cause I'm running away.
If you could, please share this stream with your friends if you want to. It'll help out. It'll help the algorithm and hopefully put me on the map.
Running away. I'm looking for space. Looking for space. I'm healing from all of the pain. All of the pain.
Yeah, what the hell? Let's just start it. So, it has come to my attention that I really need to, this was a video that I think I might have forgotten. Well, I haven't seen. It was the one, this is a video from Rickzilla that I haven't seen. It was the one that AP talked about. This one is Adonis Paul and Virgie demand money. They won't work and need my constant pain to fund their drugs. This was on March 23rd, 2022. So it's basically holy crap. 3 weeks? Or since we're on the 17th, and this was a while ago. And this was around when the whole Adonis Paul and Virgie want me to bleed drama, and yeah. Again, I haven't critiqued this video because I thought I could end off with a little bang, but apparently there are still some people who don't know who Rickzilla is and are quite curious at what type of person she can be. So let's just get started with this one.
Virgie and Adonis Paul must have made a lot of money last night because they're harassing me again, wanting more money. The more money they make, the more they demand from me.
You have to understand with this person is that she likes to invent her own victimhood constantly. It's basically an addiction to her. And this was the camel, and this was, well, actually, the stream she did where she was slicing into her arm with a bic was basically the camel, that straw that broke the camel's back.
I can't ever just wake up and not have somebody demanding large amounts of money from me. Thousands. My abusers need thousands of dollars a day.
Okay, so the reason for this, she made this video, is because, well, someone, a bunch of trolls commented, made these comments demanding Mary to give Virgie his money back. And she took it literally. She took these comments literally. Anyone with half a brain could just, I don't know, ignore the comments or just delete them or block that person that sent that shit. But if you watched Mayo 3, you would know that what Adonis Paul said was that Rickzilla will go through these phases where she will pretend to believe in what random trolls tell her in her comments. It's been like that since she's been on YouTube.
Or they will make me kill myself. If they can't create thousands of dollars a day for whatever it is they need that much money for, they're never going to let me exist.
And this is one of the things I really cannot understand about how Mary thinks. And hell, even George Hard R. Martin said, bro, you're just making all this up. You yourself said you don't owe him anything. So you understand it's all a joke. And I couldn't agree any more than that. And yeah, there are a bunch of joke comments that people make about her. And honestly, even the trolls who keep commenting in her videos are just fucking with her, are just realizing that it's getting old.
This wasn't enough, right? Because they still want money. Which means I have to do worse.
That's really thought-provoking, Joseph. That is really thought-provoking. That could be something she would do. But then again, Mary will probably take clothes that she found from a homeless person if the situation calls for it.
I don't have anything here to do worse because I intentionally keep myself away from sharp objects. Because I am trying to save my own life.
You know what Mary could do to save her own life? Get the fuck off the internet. Go into a hospital. If she is feeling suicidal, call a suicide hotline. But Mary is just saying this just for attention. It's obvious what she really wants. She wants people to suffer the way she perceives her so-called suffering.
I am trying. Up until yesterday, I had gone so long without cutting.
Do you want a medal for that, Mary?
And now it's gonna have to be a daily thing. Because the men that earned so much from my pain, they must have really...
She's dog whistling.
...made a lot of money from that one. So they want more. Just like I told you all, until they get deplatformed, they're going to continue demanding more from me.
You know, it's obvious what she's trying to do. She's trying to convince YouTube to have Adonis Paul's channel taken down over what she thinks is considered cyber harassment. You know, YouTube, there's a reason why she's not monetized. Because she posts shit like this where she is talking about wanting to commit suicide constantly. That is a definite no-no for YouTube.
That I can't give. But they're still demanding, you know, they're still demanding. They're demanding and demanding and demanding, and they know I don't have any money. I have to actually sever off something important. I mean, not just a couple of little cuts. I'm gonna have to really hurt myself. I mean, really, really badly.
Yeah. This is the part where everybody pretty much said, fuck this bitch. I mean, AP has said it best that she is begging. She is a beggar. She is an attention. She is an attention seeker. And she thinks that this is going to get people on her side. And she thinks that this is going to get people to be on her side if she hurts herself. No. Any rational person will look at this and say that this woman is fucking insane. And they would be rightfully so to say that shit.
In order for anybody to believe that these men are doing this, they...
Yeah, Moonbear, if only AP would stop demanding that money from... Yeah, if only AP would stop demanding her to give her TP.
They say they don't want blood. We don't want blood. We want money. But money is worthless to an abuser.
You know, AP has made a lot of money without Mary as of recently, and I commend him for that. Virgie has been off of YouTube as of recently. He was on Odyssey, but hopefully, I hope that he will make a comeback on YouTube. Because I really miss that fucker. I really miss that motherfucker. And I was a mod in his channel. I was a mod. I used to be a mod on his streams. Well, someone made me a mod. Well, someone asked Virgie to make me a mod because I had one of my streams flagged by some shitty cook. Yeah. So, I would like to see Virgie make a comeback. And I would like to see AP and Mersh have a little fun joining in and probably prolonging the stream until 3 in the morning. Or even until the sun rises. Anyway, yeah. So, Mary really thinks that... Actually, no, Mary knows what she's doing. This is a calculated thing. She's making these videos hoping that someone is going to start some sort of civil movement to end cyberbullying.
Abusers want pain. That's what they get off on.
And by the way, Trisha, Letitia, if you're watching this, this is what you should learn from. This is what you should not do. If you want people to take you seriously, which I don't see why people will take you seriously, but this is what will happen if you continue antagonizing the internet. You'll get people demanding money from you.
If I had the money, I would pay them to free me. If I had the thousands of dollars they were demanding, I would pay them so that I could buy my freedom back.
Yes, Moonbear. She's buy her freedom. Dude, she's pretty much trying to act like she's a slave. Yeah, she thinks she's a slave. She was probably watching Roots one night and thought that she could emulate the hardships from from the people that have been forced into suffrage. Your name is Mary. Your name is Mary. Okay, maybe that was a little wrong.
But I don't I don't have the money. I'll never be able to buy my freedom. And every day that they demand money from me, I have to hurt myself a little bit worse.
And she has hurt herself on camera. Luckily, AP has made the decision to not show her cutting her wrists on camera, because she will do that regardless of what people reacting. Because Aunt Kathy has said this, is that Aunt Kathy has confirmed that she has been known to harm herself whenever she doesn't get her way. And I commend AP for not showing that shit, even though Adrasia couldn't spell Virgie's name right. She just wrote VIG.
Until somebody finally takes notice that these men are sadistically demanding money from me that they know I don't have and can never get.
The only person who probably believed this type of shit was James Clark. But the only reason why James Clark believed this was because he has a hate boner for Adonis Paul. Probably because Adonis Paul was the guy that exposed James for being a predator. When he shared some screenshots of James liking underage girls on Instagram, and some secret messages of James admitting that he likes Lolitas. So he finds Adrasdia and tries to form an alliance with him to bring down AP and the other people that, well, pretty much call them out on their bullshit.
I will never be able to pay for my freedom in cash.
I could tell that this type of shit is staged. I could tell that she is putting on a performance. Probably because of the fake crying, the fake tears, the constant looking at her camera or looking down. It's obvious she knows something. She knows that what she's doing is pretty much a facade. She's trying to get revenge on the people that cover her, on the people that call her out on her bullshit. AP is done with her, and I gotta commend AP for making the decision to not cover her anymore. I wish I could do the same thing, but unfortunately, Mary is too much. There are still people who don't know who Mary is, who are far curious about her.
And none of you understand how terrifying a prospect that is. To realize that you will never again be a free human being, that every morning you wake up, you are going to wake up to threats of death and rape and demands for money from men who believe that they own you and can do whatever they want to you because you are their property.
She's trying to make AP sound like a pimp. And every time she says these men, it's obvious what she's trying to do. She's trying to dog whistle feminists to start a political movement to free Adrasdia from the clutches of Adonis Paul. Honestly, it's ridiculously stupid if you think about it. And by the way, Trisha and Letitia, if you watch this shit, you would know that this is what I see every time I look at you play the victim. It's obvious. She didn't want to go to her doctors to get her prescription, get her medication back. She's trying to invent some excuse to not want to do anything except play the victim, cry wolf, and expect people to feel sorry for her. AP has said this in Mayo 3, that Adrasia has never done anything for herself, and she doesn't intend on doing anything for herself. Because because it's pretty much that takes effort to be independent. She expects other people to do things for her. It's been like that ever since she was a kid. When she used to spend time with her grandmother would spoil her rotten. Luckily, Aunt Kathy knows what is up.
So if they want to send men to rape you for money, for their profits, that's your life now. If they want to send somebody to beat you because you owe them money, that's your life now, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it. Because the police don't care.
Ew.
The police don't care, and nobody cares. I have no family, I have no friends, I have nobody but the men who believe they control me and own me and will not allow me. Like, they're always telling me, why won't you just get a job?
Exact. And Reality Check said this best. Mary is not capable of getting a job. Even if she has the necessities enough to get a job, she won't keep a job for probably more than 1 or 2 weeks. She is not stable enough for employment. And it's really sad. I mean, she held 2 jobs when she was 19 years old, but at the age she is at, she's lucky enough to find steady employment handing out flyers. And hell, even she wouldn't even do that right, because she is pretty much fried her brain after she pretty much fried her brains from all the years of drug abuse.
If they had jobs, would they be having to demand thousands of dollars from a woman who has nothing? I have no furniture. I can't even be on my medication anymore. They've taken everything, and they're just still demanding more. Thousands of dollars a day.
Come on, Murray, just give Virgie his money. And also, give me your TP. Come on, Mary, you still owe me some TP. If you don't give me your TP, you're going to have to end up being sent to Lake Titicaca, where you will be judged by the great Bungholio in Nicaragua. For there is only one bunghole, the almighty Bungholio. Bungholio! I have no bunghole.
I have to go and get a sharper blade. Because the one that I took out of the razor yesterday is too small and I can't do anything with it, and they want something big.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. It's obvious that Mary is just making this shit up. It's obvious she's making all this shit up just so that people will get attention, so that she can use it as a way to have people thrown in jail because she didn't like what they said about her. And that's the thing I see with all these other lolcows, is that they like to make up drama. I mean, I've seen this with Shani. I've seen this with Trisha. They like to make up their own victimhood, hoping that the law will end up getting involved. And they try to gas up other mentally unstable people like them to fight their battles for them. And with Shani, it's G-Man. With Mary, it's James Clark.
Because they need to make their money. So I have to bleed heavy. I have to bleed so bad that it won't stop.
Hold on, let me...
I have to bleed so bad.
You see those marks right there? Yeah. That's from writing Virgie's name in her arm with a razor.
That it won't stop. I have to do it live again. Letting YouTube know that this is happening because Adonis Paul and Virgie G need thousands of dollars, and they believe that they own me, and they're demanding that thousands of dollars from me.
And this is a thing I keep seeing with other lolcows, is that they always like to invent, I said this before, but they invent a new reason to be afraid. They invent a new reason to be a victim. With Shani, it's always blaming. It's always the same people they go after. With Shani, it's Dragnot. Dragnot is the reason. Dragnot did this. Dragnot did that. With Adrasia, it's Adonis Paul. With Trisha, it's Paula or Sean. With Letitia, it's this Marine guy that I will not say the name of because I mean, that's basically Doc asking for trouble. But again, why do all these people latch onto one person? Because they think that person owes them compensation for years of torture, as what they say, as what they believe. Adonis Paul has decided to stop covering Adrastia, and I wouldn't fault him for that. I'd stop covering her. And because it's their big name channels, because they have a large number of subscribers, that it's obvious. And because they featured Mary, because Adonis Paul, who has a large subscriber count, used to feature some of Mary's videos back before he decided to stop covering her altogether, which was last month. He was placed at the forefront of all of Mary's so-called harassment. Look, Adonis Paul doesn't control his audience. Neither does JJ Stoner. Neither does Royce Lopez. Neither does Virgie. And most certainly, neither does Hatman. I think the person that's always caused Mary the more trouble was someone called Niece Lone Wolf.
They can't earn it themselves. These are not grown men that can go and get jobs and take care of themselves.
They have actual jobs. They do have jobs, Mary. Adonis Paul works from home. Virgie works in a glass factory. YouTube is a hobby to them.
These are men that survive by demanding thousands of dollars a day from women who cannot fight back against them, who have nobody for protection, nobody to love and care about them, nobody to even care that these men have come in and manipulated and intimidated their way into owning another human being.
She just described a pimp. You just described a pimp, Mary. I'd imagine Adonis Paul. I would imagine AP drawing his avatar with a feathered, with a fedora, with like a fur coat, a fedora with a feather in it, and a cane. Pimp Daddy AP. Pimp Daddy Rickzilla over here, Mary. I'm surprised she's never brought up my name, because I've covered Adrasdia more than what AP, Virgie, Hatman put together.
They own me.
But no, it has to be Adonis Paul or Virgie or Hatman. It's never Rickzilla who covers her, because even knowing that Rickzilla has covered her almost every Sunday up until recently, for the past year, ever since he found out who she was, ever since I found out who she was from Hatman's video, and then I started watching AP's documentary on her, and that's when I started to find out what type of person she was and how she became this way.
They want thousands of dollars a day. They own me.
No, this is an old video. This was from last month. This is a last month video, and I haven't had the opportunity to cover this one, probably because I forgot the name of it. But it's the one where AP decided that enough is enough.
They're never going to let me free. They are never going to let me go. I cannot buy my freedom from these men. All I can do is bleed and pray that today I'll lose enough blood for them that they'll get
Blood for the blood god, Adrasia. Blood for the blood god.
Enough money off of me that they'll let me go for maybe a couple of hours. I'll be live in a couple of hours giving you what you want. And I'll do it deep. I'll make sure this time to do it deep. I know that's where the money comes from.
No, Mary, the money came... Mary doesn't seem to understand that the money came from her making videos where she's acting crazy and stupid. And she does that all the time. But, again, this is where people draw the line. Nobody's forcing her to cut herself. She just wanted an excuse to hurt herself so that she could blame it on other people.
That's where the big cash comes from, is going deep.
Hell, I mean, no, the big cash comes from her acting like a complete idiot. And she has done that. I mean, she made a hat, a dunce cap, where she was wearing a dunce cap where she was handing out these flyers saying that Adonis Paul was a stalker. And of course, she was filmed by Sonic the Stream God, or these IP2 people, where she was talking with these IP2 people. Yeah. So I would say that Drazia has always wanted attention so bad. She's always wanted to be internet famous ever since she was featured on In the Know. And when she was featured in that IP2 stream where she was talking with these the IRL streamers, she wanted a taste of that attention. And she'll go above and beyond. She has tried to go above and beyond to try and garner that attention with little to no success. Even though she has like over 945 subscribers, but most of those subscribers are usually hate subs. And most of those are basically people who just want to see a garbage fire.
And you can really see just inside my body.
Oh, really? Let me see what that new hat is. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've seen the new hat. We will take a look at that.
Alright, so the allegation, the very idea that, well, if you were innocent, you wouldn't have to worry about anything, is ridiculous. When we live in a world where people are put in prison every day for confessing to crimes that they didn't commit, or...
It's obvious, yeah. A lot of people have been wondering what more she is hiding from, what more she's hiding. And it's come to the attention is that when people started looking into the Roberta Laws case, and they see that it doesn't match up with her book or her pamphlet, they pretty much see that she's obviously lying. Like, she lied about about the time she was handcuffed to the bed, or like shackled to like a radiator or something. That was in the book. That was something she probably saw on Silence of the Lambs. The thing with why I compared Mary to Trisha was because Trisha will take other people's stories and pass them off as her own. Adrasia does the same thing too, where she pretty much takes stories from works of fiction and pass them off as her own in her book. Well, if you call it a book. There were pawn shop receipts that prove that she wasn't held prisoner, that she wasn't held captive by Kenneth. And there was video footage of Mary accompanying Kenneth to the Walmart, purchasing the shovel to bury Roberta's body in the backyard. I think anyone who's ever watched Adonis Paul already knows this. And oh look, she's got a new hat. What?
For being framed by other people who did commit the crime. Fucking the most known child murder case.
And she's trying to hold on, let me see the new hat. Oh, this is the hat that, yeah. You should take the hat's advice instead of constantly claiming to be a victim and spewing vitriol. Ed Pickle Powder said, I like the paper hat better. Oh, God damn it. The hat. Yeah. That's her. That's the hat she's wearing.
In America was a false conviction. Otis Toole. He confessed to murdering Adam Walsh.
I'm just going to speed her up.
Evidence led to it, and he even recanted multiple times. But you know, the detectives, they wanted to find anybody, they wanted to convict anybody. And he walked in and said he did it, so they spoon-fed him the information that he needed to convict himself. Not that Otis Toole was a good person, but he didn't kill Adam Walsh. And that's what he died in prison for. There's another man recently I was watching on Dateline. He spent 14 years in prison for a false confession.
VMAX says, confess to something you didn't do to get a deal is what they all say when they want to get out sooner. Are you setting yourself up with an excuse in case they come for you? Oh, shit. Yes. It almost sounds like she's trying to find a loophole or trying to excuse her involvement with, excuse herself or absolve herself of guilt. She's trying to absolve herself of guilt by using these examples that she's watched on Dateline regarding confessions. And it seems as though she's trying to stir up a new narrative, come up with a new narrative regarding her involvement with Roberta's murder. We know she didn't kill Roberta Laws. We just like to make fun of how she says murderer. Murderer. I'm not a murderer. I am not a murderer. Murderer.
14 years for a crime that he didn't really even know anything about. The police gave him the information that he knew. And, okay, here's what happened. Actually, the man across the street from the girl raped and murdered her. And they pulled in this other guy, and they offered him a deal. If he would confess, they would let him go.
Care that these men have come
So
in
he made up a
and
confession.
manipulated
And of course that didn't fit
their
the
way
evidence. So they said,
into
well, that doesn't
owning
fit the evidence we
another
have. So
human
your deal is
being.
off. But what we're going to do is we're going to refresh your memory a little bit. Let's try again.
Yes. I don't know why she made this video. It's obvious. She's trying to come up with more excuses to why she shouldn't be absolved. She shouldn't be acquitted of being an accessory to a murder case. No one gives a fuck about. No one is going to reopen the case. It's done. The guy who murdered Roberta Laws is gonna die in prison. He should have been dead long ago. But the Florida judge was a bitch and had him sentenced to life in prison instead of giving him the death penalty. So yeah. Anyway, luckily, Kenneth did take the plea bargain and say that it was all his idea. Probably because he knew that Mary is not gonna do well in an interrogation because Mary is too mentally unstable to even stand trial.
Again, here's what we know happened. Okay, now if you confess, we'll give you a deal. 20 hours this man was interrogated, given deal after deal after deal, given new information after each deal. By the time it was over with, his confession involved 2 other men, one who would go to jail and one who would never be tried. And none of those 3 were ever involved to begin with. The first guy had been interrogated for over 20 hours and just kept confessing and making up stories and telling the police what they fucking wanted to hear, because that's what you do after hours and hours and hours of investigative torture. That's what you guys put me through. Y'all put me through hours and hours and hours of asking me the same question over and over and over again and not accepting my answer. Every time I told you the answer, you would tell me that I was lying or that I was not remembering it correctly. And
you weren't. Yeah. And it's the fact that you make shit up, Mary. It's the fact that you make it all up. Or you try to, like, rationalize it to, or you try to mitigate it. You try to, like, mitigate it. Mitigate your involvement in burying that poor woman in the backyard. I mean, come on, Mary. How long have we been doing this? 18 months. 18 months as you describe it as. And during those 18 months, you have made yourself look even more guilty than you already are. Then again, if that's possible. I mean, you would go through extremes to try and garner some form of sympathy so that a bunch of your idiot simps will give you money so that you can get high and forget all your problems. Again, if you, like what AP said, if you have, like, schizoaffective disorder, you know weed is only going to make it worse for you, because there is an ingredient in THC that causes paranoia. For people who are schizoaffective or people who have schizophrenia or dissociative identity disorder.
you kept telling me that if I would just confess, it would all go away. If I would just confess, and everything ends. Everything goes away. Every morning I woke up to people demanding that I confess, not just through comments, but through emails and through phone calls. I was getting phone calls at like 2 a.m. demanding that I confess, that I just stop pretending and confess already. And they heard.
Again, Mary, those are trolls. Those people were trying to fuck with you because, again, they know what pushes your buttons. They know what pisses you off the most is that you end up, and you give them, they want a reaction from you, and you give them the reaction by making videos responding to comments. And you make a scene and you make a big scene about it. I mean, almost last month, you were threatening to cut your arm off, or you were threatening to end your own life over a joke. A fucking joke. All this started over fucking potatoes. You saw Aunt Kathy buying a bag of potatoes, and you decided to bash her. You decided to lambaste her over fucking potatoes. All because we invented a holiday making fun of how you describe, making fun of, well, we invented a holiday on your birthday because you always keep saying that every year on your birthday you get CPTSD over the murder of Roberta Laws. And it becomes a running gag to the fuck people. It became a running gag to call Roberta a potato. Hence why we said International Potato Day. And you made videos trying to demonize us, or you try to act like you have the moral high ground by saying that it's childish and disrespectful to invent a holiday honoring Roberta's memory by calling it International Potato Day. And when And of course, you threw a fit when someone in your Facebook tab or in your Facebook comments said that your brother Ronnie was a potato because he suffered from the same debilitating the same crippling handicap Roberta suffered from, which was cerebral palsy. And of course, you tried to have that man you tried to have that man who happens to be like a trucker or something. You tried to have a trucker arrested and fired all because they said that your brother was a potato. And then you invented this you faked a meltdown. Actually, no, you faked a mental breakdown to con your Facebook simps out of $20 to get groceries delivered to your Section 8 housing. But instead, you used that $20 to buy weed. Even though you said you were too afraid to go outside. And someone said that they have video footage of you, and that's how it all started. That's when you decided to call Adonis Paul a stalker and decide to start a new campaign to demonize AP by wearing a fucking dunce cap, passing out flyers, and getting lambasted by a crackhead in the middle of Skid Row. Oh my god. And then, to make things worse, you decided to go completely overboard by responding to a bunch of dumbass comments demanding you give Virgie $50 back. And then they up the price because, again, it's a joke. It's a joke to them. Because they know what upsets you the most. They know that you'll respond with something extremely out of left field, such as you threatening to amputate yourself or threatening to bleed for your haters, bleed for your slave masters, as you put it. I mean, come on, Mary. How long have we been doing this? It's a repeated pattern for you. It's like Shani. You see how Shani goes through like all these phases where she's trying to invent new ways to be a victim, new excuses to be a victim. Mary does the same thing too, except you don't see Shani or Rev going around Pennsylvania in a dunce cap passing out flyers saying that Dragnot is a stalker. I would see Trisha doing the same I would see Trisha doing something similar with Paula.
Harassed me to the point that they got me into mental breakdowns, and then my words would get twisted up, and they would twist those further and say, see, this proves this part, so this is enough for a confession. We've proved it.
What's up, Spiritual God Warrior 420? How are things going? What's up, Lock On? What's up, my fellow homeboys? Yes, Mary's face is melting. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if you do something like that, you obviously are putting your job at risk. If you're fucking with a mentally unstable woman on Facebook, you're probably going to end up getting the boot.
We proved it. But then they didn't prove anything. They just got me upset and then twisted my words around. But they kept saying, it's proved. All you have to do now is just admit it, just confess to it, and everything will end.
Exactly. I mean, Look, Mary, the way you try to retcon the narrative, every time you retcon the story, it adds on a few more layers, forcing people to dig deeper. Because again, the stories in your book don't match up with the actual case. And people are wondering whether or not you're trying to hide the fact that you were involved with Roberta Laws's murder. It makes it sound a bit confusing to some, but it's obvious that you're trying to absolve yourself of the guilt of having to watch Kenneth strangle his fiance to death with a shoelace or something. I don't know. I forgot. But there are receipts. There are receipts out there. Receipts from like pawn shops. Receipts from pawn shops that you were selling, you were hawking all of Roberta's belongings. And of course, there's the video footage of you accompanying Kenneth to go buy the shovel. So, yeah. And I'm repeating myself. God damn it.
Over and over and over again for a year and a half.
But then again, so does she.
This to me. Adonis Paul and Virgie is banned on YouTube. Like, the things that he was doing, YouTube actually looked into and said, no, we do not want you on this platform. But he's still on the platform because he goes on Adonis Paul's show.
Virgie is gonna make a comeback soon. He decided, yeah, fuck Odyssey. Virgie decided, yeah, fuck Odyssey. He's thinking about making a comeback. Maybe he might start a new channel, but he's probably gonna have to start from the ground up. And no, Virgie was not banned from YouTube. He had his account. Was he banned from YouTube, or was Adrasia making that shit up?
There was a woman on sorry. There was a woman on Dr. Phil I was watching the other day that did exactly this kind of stuff. She called Dr. Phil and she said that she had medical proof, evidence that her daughter was being sexually molested. And then she showed up and she didn't have any of that proof at all. She showed medical records where the doctor literally stated nothing was found and the mother was being overdramatic or lying. And
I've seen a few other crazy people on Dr. Phil. And honestly, yeah, Dr. Phil, he's a charlatan.
And she was called out on it. Dr. Phil's like, look, you called us up here. You said you had proof. You had documents proving what you were claiming, and none of these documents prove anything. And her response is, well, we thought once you met him, you would understand and could read through.
Oh yeah, Virgie did get banned. He got blacklisted. The FBI is on Virgie's ass right now.
The lines. That's not what proof is.
Yeah, the FBI has Virgie on a watch list.
To me, they've taken the proof and said, but if you know her, then you know what really happened, and it was this. If you know her after the murder, if you know her after she's been traumatized, if you've dealt with her after hours and hours of torturous harassment to get her to break down, you would understand that she's actually a murderer that needs to be punished.
We're not saying you killed Roberta Laws, but your grandmother, we probably might think that. And no, and again, Nobody accused you of killing Bubba. Nobody accused you of killing your father. We just made that up because, again, you obviously like to react every time people call you a murderer. But the reason why we call you a murderer is because we're not calling you a murderer because you killed Roberta Laws. You didn't kill Roberta Laws. We're making fun of how you say murderer. But when we started digging into what happened to your grandmother, the arguments you had with your grandmother, we started to suspect whether or not you may have some form of involvement with your grandmother's accident. But who knows? We're not accusing you of killing your grandmother.
It's not, that proof would not hold up in any court of law. And they pushed me to the point that multiple times I have been tempted to walk into a police station and actually confess to a crime that I did not commit, but I know all the details of because I was a witness to it.
A witness. You were an accomplice. Again, she's trying to retcon the story. 1 minute she'll say, I don't remember going to a Walmart. I don't remember selling Roberta's belongings. She thinks she got amnesia from. She thinks that she got so traumatized that she developed amnesia. She doesn't. It goes to show that she doesn't really care about her audience. She just wants to use YouTube as a way to get people to be on her side. Or she tries to invent a new crisis for herself so that her simps donate to her PayPal. Speaking of which, if you feel generous, since I'm basically pouring myself out for shekels. Not really. But speaking of which, if you feel generous and if you feel like you need some fulfillment in your life, generosity makes you a better person. If you're generous enough to check out my PayPal and donate a few shekels, it would be much appreciated. If you can't do that, and if you can't afford to donate, you can always hit the like button. It's free. And it's also free to share this stream around because I need a lot more followers to start my own cult so that we can sacrifice Adrazia to the blood gods. No, I'm just kidding. I am trying to reach 500 subscribers before the summer, and maybe 1K subscribers before the end of the year, or probably by the end of the year. And we are almost reaching that goal. And also, I might need money for my armor, to build my armor. So I can live out my dream of being an actual bounty hunter.
How fucked would that have been?
No.
A witness confessing to a crime that they didn't commit, but they know all the details for obvious reasons.
Probably because you weren't a witness, Mary. You were an accessory.
And that's another thing. They say, well, if you didn't do it, then how do you know all these details? Because I was there. It's called being a witness.
Again, you keep saying you're a witness. Last I checked, you said that you were sitting in the car because until the job was done. You pretty much said that if you escaped from that truck, Kenneth was going to kill Meemaw. Again, your stories don't add up. If you claim to have been a witness to the murder, then you saw what happened and did absolutely nothing to prevent it. You see, this is why nobody is going to believe. This is why nobody believes you. Because you say one thing and then you say another thing. And it pretty much goes against what you wrote in your book. One minute you said that you were forced to wait in the truck because Kenneth was going to kill you. And then the next you were in an argument with Kenneth, and then you were in the truck and waited while Kenneth killed Roberta. And now you're saying that you watched helplessly as Kenneth strangled her to death? It's obvious that you may or may not have provoked Kenneth to, quote unquote, get rid of Roberta. But we all know that you actually did tell Kenneth to get rid of her. Either that or Kenneth pretty much hacked into your account. Maybe Kenneth McBride was a super elite hacker who hacked into your account and sent those emails to himself so that he could find an excuse to, quote unquote, get rid of Roberta. I mean, he pretty much was downgrading when he was fucking you, Mary. He pretty much downgraded when he was fucking you. I mean, you can't get lower than a woman with cerebral palsy. Can you? I mean, who would fuck that? Who would fuck this? Who would fuck a woman whose vagina has the acidic property of an alien xenomorph? His dick is probably melted by now. Now he's got a vagina too. Now he's got a vag too. Okay, maybe I'm just stealing jokes from AP. Then again, who cares?
When thousands of people for a year and a half are demanding that a witness and a victim confess to the crime that traumatized them or be traumatized again.
Again, you were neither a victim nor were you a witness. You were an accomplice and an accessory.
The fact that I have to explain how fucked up that is shows how fucked up it is. Because it should be illegal. Because there's reasons that they use specially trained people to interrogate.
Oh, so the fuck people are specially trained professionals who are trying to interrogate you to confess that you were involved in Roberta Law's murder? I didn't know that. I didn't know that we were covert op. I didn't know the fuck people were covert op. And by the way, Jeremy's mom, if you're watching this, I have a new case study that you can look at. This woman. But I'm pretty sure Jeremy's mom saw the Mayo documentary, but it's equal opportunity. I don't understand. I don't see why Mary has to say these men are trying to harm her. It's obvious she's trying to dog whistle.
The reason is because the human mind is fragile.
No. It's just your mind that's fragile.
And it is easy, under extreme duress and threats.
And also, I believe that she might have been in special needs when she was in school.
And it's easy to twist up a person's mind and even make them believe that they've committed a crime that they haven't committed. Or force them to confess to something that they have no idea what they're even confessing to, just because they want to be free from the hell that the interrogation has been. They're supposed to be specially trained so that the interrogations don't turn into torture sessions just to get the response that they want.
Won't.
The men who have been interrogating me and demand.
Okay, so he keeps saying she keeps dog whistling every time she keeps saying the men. What? Do you really think that feminists are gonna watch these videos and form a lynch mob against Adonis Paul and a bunch of reaction channels and a bunch of internet hosts? Do you really think that feminists are gonna form like some sort of potato gate, like a political movement to advocate for the freedom of a mentally unstable hobo who lives in a Section 8 apartment, who doesn't have a job, who doesn't want to work, who rather sit on her lazy ass and play emulator games all day and get high 24/7?
That I confess or it never ends. They're not police officers and they were never trained to do these interrogations. They're just using their intimidation to mentally torment the witness to a crime. And
once again, Mary, you were never a witness. You were never a victim. You were an accomplice. You were an accessory.
something should be done about it.
Also, your hat sucks.
And the fact that they've walked away doesn't mean that it's done for me, because I still live with this fear that they're going to come back. It's probably never going to be over for me. It's a part of my trauma now.
Yeah. Adonis Paul is done with you. Adonis Paul has decided that he is not going to look at your videos anymore. Even if you try to throw his name in the ring, he's not going to pay attention to you. Even if you bring his name up, he's done. He's busy with Leticia, but Leticia has moved on and found a new target. Now Leticia is going after Jeremy's mom, aka Paula. Probably because she was watching Trisha. Or not. But again, I still want to see the two of you tag teaming and recruiting James Clark.
And something should be done to make sure that they don't go on to traumatize other victims.
Also Poopy.
Just because they don't understand what the person's gone through. And they think it's funny to mess with a mind that they are stronger than, that they can control and manipulate for them.
Again, nobody is controlling you, Mary. Nobody intends on controlling you because, again, you're fucking insane. You're batshit crazy. Ain't nobody want to mess with that shit.
Their amusement.
Now let's take a look at Leticia, because we'll get back to Mary, because so I'm just going to speed this up because I'll be right back.
Today's April 16th, 2022. It's a Saturday. Yes, the 16th. I I've been feeling kind of out of sorts the last
Keep going,
days. And normally I don't let people into my energy. Yesterday I had approximately 10 phone calls, one after another, by a blocked number, like a no caller ID number. And this crazy bitch, I don't know who she is, but she's obviously deranged to think that I care. So I just turned off the setting for unknown numbers, so that she won't be able to access me anymore. She left me a message approximately 20 minutes ago that said something there. The transcription, and I know better than to get involved, said something about dumb blank. So of course, and oh my god, like, this is your wake-up call, that's how it started. Are you okay, honey? Is it the fact that you're probably one of Jason Wallace's whores? Is it one of those instances? Is that why you're trying to, like, defend all of this and defend the military men that fuck you, and you like that good dick, huh? That's so nice, isn't it? Actually, he's a fucking rapist, and that's why I rejected him. So you can have him. You can have him all you want. If you feel like you're gonna stalk some other woman that's pregnant with his kid, like a crazy fucking psychopath, go for it. There's something wrong with you. Just because he didn't inject you with a baby, and you're fucking jealous and shit, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's jealousy by crazy bitches. They go around trying to, he's my man. No, he's nobody's man, because he's a fucking and he's insane. So when he tells you he loves you, or he's this and that, he's all for you, he's, in the relationship with you.
Hey, Draven, what's up?
Fucking me then? Why did he fuck me in the middle of the night?
This is, we're looking at Leticia right now. Earlier, I was just pretty much observing an old video that I never covered. I haven't covered on Adrasia. But, again, we're looking at Leticia's recent shit right now. Because she is still hung up on that Marine that fucked her and didn't call her back.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's why I never got with men that had multiple partners like that. I avoided men like that. And the fact that he used me in the middle of the night, and he is technically a rapist, that is exactly what that is. It just proves the point. I don't do anything. I do not seek it. I don't go partying. I don't go to clubs. I don't go looking for mischief. Yet I'm pregnant with some dude's kid, and nobody's affording for it. And I sure as fuck am not going to. Are you that jealous? Are you okay, honey? Are you okay, honey? So if anybody wants to contact Jason Wallace to ask him, that would be nice. I would really like that, because I'm not technically allowed to harass his communications. But his phone number is 619-416-8845. If anybody wants to question him as to why he left me in this situation, question whether or not he wants to fuck you, whatever, if you want to get some stray dick or whatnot, if you're looking for a whore, contact that number. So, and that's what I tell people, like, I'm not fighting in order to win. I'm fighting in order to survive. And I'm not actually competing with anybody. There's no competition here. I would rather die. So, if you think that your millions of phone calls are going to affect me, no, one click away from just blocking you, and that hurts your feelings. So, I didn't anticipate making another video. I was just going to leave it at that.
So Leticia
and wait until the baby
doxed
and not notify anybody about my opinions.
the guy that didn't want to be. So Leticia doxed the guy that didn't want to be her boyfriend, the Marine dude,
or the child, or my circumstances, or my whereabouts, because I realized that nobody cares. Absolutely nobody cares, except for the crazy people that want to try to defend Jason Wallace, and defend the military men, and defend people they don't know personally, and
Leticia, sit down for a bit. What you said was absolute bullshit. You have warrants for arrest because you were falsely accusing men of rape. This has been a pattern for you. You're a fucking fugitive of the law. This is why you don't have custody of your daughter. This is why you're never going to keep that baby. Because your soul is blackened with evil. And you will stop at nothing to watch your enemies burn in hell. And you try to use the fear of God as a way to assert dominance over your perceived enemies. Because again, you don't want to fight your own battles. So you try to like use God or use some sort of divine intervention. And it's obvious you're never... I know, Draven, she is boring. That's why I have her sped up.
Defend people that are crazy.
No, she's anger-inducing.
And defend rapists. Are you okay, honey? Are you okay, bros? Like, are you okay? Is that what you do? Is you just...
By the way, this video is directed towards Robin.
Hide things from, you know, everyone just so that you can get away with all these fucking random offspring and whatever? And those like, random offspring end up going into foster care here and there, and there's nothing for these kids but your dick, that moment that you fucked the mother and left her for dead, gave her nothing, gave her absolutely nothing. You thought a 4-day stay at a fucking Airbnb was going to satiate me for the rest of this 18 years of having to care for your child?
Yeah, the Airbnb, the person who gave the Airbnb was the airman. But she still wants that military dick. She wants that Marine dick.
You thought that was going to work, Jason Wallace? Is that how it works for you?
Stop saying his fucking name. Stop saying his fucking name, Leticia. It's obvious you want attention. But not only do you want attention, Leticia, you want revenge. You want to see all your internet bullies and internet haters suffer. All the people that you think have wronged you, you want them to suffer.
Piece of shit? Because that's all you are. The fact
Yeah,
that
she
you
is
don't
boring.
like that says a lot. You're a
And
coward.
I don't know what happened to Frank.
And I stated that in the text because you can go around just alleviating yourself, letting your stress out on everyone else, but you don't want to deal with the consequences. And that's the sick part. That makes you a sadist. That makes you a narcissist. That makes you manipulative. That makes you all of these things that you clearly line up directly with the description for.
She's projecting, by the way.
So I don't just make up words. These words are in psychology. And the fact that you're egotistical and consumed by your power in doing that, like a megalomaniac, then there's nothing I can say. Anyone looking for a whore, call 619-41.
Nope.
And it's been sprinkling a little bit, so I
had to skip because she was pretty much trying to dox the military dude.
tired. It's like literally midday right now, and I feel like, what the fuck am I going to do with my day? Where the fuck am I going to get money? And, like, I've been thinking about...
It's obvious why she turns off her comments. She's trying to evade... She's trying to, Sorry, I have food in my mouth. It's obvious. She's trying to block people out, shut people out, so that she can get away with trying to spew her disgusting bullshit and get people riled up. She's doing this on purpose. And yes, Draven, she is so boring.
About, like, yeah, let's just start up a sugar baby, some type of sugar baby or sugar daddy app type shit. Why not? I've already been tainted by this child. By the time I end up done with this child and get rid of it, then I'll be saved either way. because these circumstances forced me into becoming a whore. And these circumstances forced me into, you know, positions that I might not have had otherwise, because I'm trying to deal with a demonic child inside of me. And that's what it is. The child was not born out of love. It was lust. And there's a huge difference when when the creation of all of it. If the father doesn't want to deal with it, then that means it was just lust. That means that it's toxic, and it's toxic to me and my psyche, and all of it toxic. So I'm not sure why this bitch was trying to call me. Like, are you okay, honey? Like, do you have nothing else better to do with your time but suck Jason Wallace's dick? And now he's confused, so he's just like pissed off and, you know, getting angry at you and saying things like, you know, you're making me feel bad. She's making me feel bad. Here, you attack her. Use your phone with your blocked ID. And here, I need you to call her 20 times because you're making me feel bad. She's making me feel bad. Letitia's making me feel bad. I didn't even know her first name. I'd never even pronounced it. Never, during the entire dinner or anything. He didn't ask me shit about myself. And I just trusted him because he said that he was, you know, he was honorable. He said this and that. But I made him feel bad. So now he's got his whores on me, trying to, you know, stop me. All these whores that think that he's not a rapist, that think this and that.
Are you saying that Paula and Robin and anyone that covers you is one of this is, oh God, excuse me, this is why nobody likes you, Leticia. This is why everybody hates you. You're falsely accusing people of shit that they didn't do, and you're projecting your frustrations outward to the people who cover you. People like Jeremy's mom, people like Owl, people like, well, you probably haven't touched Miss Moonbear, but you probably haven't addressed Miss Moonbear. And if you do, you know she's going to respond.
When in actuality he is, because I'm sitting here and here's living proof of my circumstances day in and day out, because I don't hide shit. I'm not over here trying to call a bunch of people through blocked numbers and stalk them and internet stalk them. And that's why I publicize your phone number now, Jason Wallace, because that's all I had. That's the only contact I had to find you. That, and you live in Knoll, Missouri. Hey, Knoll, Missouri. He loves that. Don't take care of those random kids. Give them trash lives and don't give them individualized attention and send them off packing this and that and mistreat them for the rest of their existence because you were a shitty whore and all you wanted to do was fuck. Yeah, that's my thoughts toward.
No, this is, how many want to bet that this is all projection? Anyway, I'm done looking at you, Leticia. Get the fuck off my screen. Oh shit! Oh shit! I did not need to see you, James. Oh wait, I did. I typed your name in the search bar, so yeah. I'm just gonna speed your ass up too, like I did with Leticia. So again, what it seems to be on your mind, James Robert Clark III?
So I wanted to make a quick video, okay? Now, Fat Man allegedly called the hospital I was at to warn them that I'm a danger to a member of the staff. I'm not. I've never been a danger to anyone at that hospital, and I will continue to never be a danger to anybody at that hospital. I'm not a danger to anyone, unless they're stupid enough to attack me in real life. I'm not a dangerous person. I don't go around trying to hurt people. I don't go around harassing people. I don't do things like that, because
Jimmy boy. Your criminal record says otherwise, and you try to deny that it was yours. You're saying, oh, that's my brother's criminal record. That's my brother's criminal record. Your brother went to jail after that criminal record came out. You went to jail. You had a criminal record long before your brother did time. And do do you really think that people are that stupid to believe that you did not attempt to stalk that your peer counselor when you were in the nut house? Do you really think that people are that fucking stupid? Not look into your personal history?
I'm not a loser. I'm not a 40-plus-year-old loser on the internet. What's funny is when I first came across these people, I think I might have mentioned this in a video, or not when I first came across them. There was this person, Dark Ninja, who's another troll. And Hatman's like, Dark Ninja and I have a feud going back many years.
Yeah. Yeah. Dark Ninja's a piece of shit. Dark Ninja is a loser. He has no life. Dark Ninja has no life on the internet. So he just goes around communities trying to fuck with them, trying to simp for degenerates like you, James. Wouldn't be fucking surprising if Dark Ninja started simping for your ass. Not to mention, he's also friends with Tragic, who's also a sick fuck, just like you. I don't give a fuck about Dark Ninja. He can get a bullet. He can bite a bullet too.
Seriously, these are grown men in their 40s that are feuding back and forth on the internet like a bunch of children. This is really happening online. This is how adult men behave online. And then people wonder why women in their 20s find somebody like me attractive. Here's a
James. Oh my god. Let me hear that again. Let me hear that again.
People wonder why women in their 20s find somebody like me attractive. Here's a hint.
It's funnier the second time. It's funnier the second time he said that. Oh my god, James. Oh my god. How delusional are you to think that women in their 20s are going to find you remotely attractive, James Clark? I mean, look at you. Your face alone screams sex offender. Your face alone should be on every FBI's most wanted list. People should tell ghost stories about the evil breeding kitty diddler who wants to breed your children. The evil James Robert Clark who wants to breed your children. Who has a bloodlust for young adolescent girls who are old enough to breed, old enough to bleed. If they're old enough to bleed, they're old enough to breed, according to James Clark. God damn it, James. I mean... Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't make me laugh, James. Come on. You're too much.
I don't play video games, I don't watch sports, and I'm not using any illicit drugs or alcohol. And I don't smoke. All pluses. But the point is, I've never been a danger to anyone at that hospital. And that's the bottom line. And, like, for example, if the hospital investigates, they're going to investigate. Okay, what are they going to find out? I offered to take somebody out to lunch, and
No. I think everybody in Pennsylvania, I think they know about your record. You have a record of doing this type of shit, James. We can... James, you have it might not be a record, but you have a habit of obsessing over people who who you have an obsession for people who are just being nice to you. I mean, you've had this obsession with Eliana when she was being nice to you back when she was 16 and you were like in your 20s. And then when Hatman used the Galena, the alias Galena to catfish you, you were obsessed over her. You thought about planning a future with Galena. It wasn't until the veil was removed and Hatman revealed himself to be the troll that was using the fake Galena account to fuck with you. Then after that illusion was shattered, you decided that you were gonna go to Argentina. Probably not to and you say that it's not to stalk Eliana, but we all know you. We all know goddamn sure that that was your intention. Eliana doesn't want your ass. She told you to leave her the fuck alone. And now, because Eliana doesn't want you, your new obsession is this nurse that was being nice to you.
I offered to let somebody come to the gym with me. Does that sound like a threatening ploy? I also offered to let them meet my ex-girlfriend, who's a witness to the lies and untruths being splashed about all over the internet. Now,
ex-girlfriend? What ex-girlfriend? Eliana was never your girlfriend, dumbass. If you're talking about someone else, it's obvious you made that one. You made that up. You never had sex, James. Okay, maybe, I'm pretty sure. Okay, maybe you did have sex at one point. But again, I'm not judging you.
Now, I've never committed a crime. This is the thing, they're saying I committed all these crimes. No, they fabricated a criminal record of mine, which is a felony.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that, Bubble Butt. You keep telling yourself that it's all fabricated. We didn't even know who the fuck you were. Until last year, we didn't know who the fuck you were. JJ brought you to our attention because we got stuck, because we got bored with Adrastia. And you're starting to sound like Rev with all this whole, oh, these people are gang stalking me. Do we look like the type of people who would gang stalk you? Do we look like the type of people who work for the government? And I find it funny that the people who claim that they're being gang stalked by the government are also getting government assistance. It's kind of ironic. I mean, it don't make sense either.
I'm going to leave links in the description. You can't just make up a criminal record and tell people that it belongs to somebody and encourage your audience to falsify police reports against somebody and encourage your audience to do violence towards people and send members of your audience over somebody's apartment to try and threaten and intimidate them. You're not allowed to do that. That's illegal. I didn't do that to anybody. I've never encouraged anybody to commit an act of violence on my behalf. I haven't.
James, you made videos challenging Adonis Paul and Royce Lopez to a karate match. And you try to rewrite your own history to make it sound that those videos didn't happen. But the Tartanomicon has those videos. There are archive channels that have videos that pretty much say otherwise. Because again, you obviously don't know how the internet works. You obviously don't know how YouTube works. And this is a thing I see with all these idiots on here, is that they all think that YouTube is their own little dear diary. They think that YouTube they think that YouTube is their own personal message board. They don't seem to understand that anyone with an electronic device will find their shit and they will comment on this. So again, welcome to the fucking ring, James. Welcome to the fucking ring.
Committed any violence on my behalf. I've just grinned and bared it. Okay, that's all I've done. So some of the crimes that these people have committed, well, let's see, the falsification of criminal records against both me and Mary. I'm concentrating on me and Mary because I know mine and Mary's case is the most.
Okay, again, and this is the thing, and Moon was talking about something similar to this, how Trisha should not be talking about something that she doesn't know about. And I could say the same about you, James. You shouldn't be talking about shit that you don't have any knowledge on. And you say you don't watch Mary's content, but you're defending her because you have a hate boner for Adonis Paul. James, your criminal record is public. We didn't falsify that shit. We didn't fabricate that shit. It's public. And you living in your own delusional world thinking that, oh, I'm not in trouble. I'm not a criminal. I'm not a pedo. I didn't look at 12-year-old girls on Instagram. They followed me. Do you really think people are going to buy into your bullshit? You're selling it, but I ain't buying it. And same goes with Adrazia. But the thing is, Adrazia is extremely transparent. We know she's bullshitting. We know that she's pulling an act because, again, is so desperate for attention, but she also wants weed money so that she can feed her addiction. She can get high all the time. And what about you? And James, you, on the other hand, I mean, you were in a psych ward, for God's sakes. You were in a mental hospital. You have a history of violence. You have had a history of having a violent response whenever shit doesn't go your way. I mean, you respond to threats saying, I challenge you to a karate match. I mean, do you really think people are going to accept your terms? Do you really think it's that simple to say, I accept your challenge? No. Because again, we're not teenagers. We're not kids. We're not going to accept some random stranger's challenge. We're not going to accept your challenge because, again, we have no relationship with you. We just review your shit. We just mock you for all your delusional ramblings. And trust me, you are delusional as fuck. You really think you're desirable to women under the age of 21? Do you really think people who are in their 20s are gonna, do you think women who are in their 20s are gonna find you desirable? I mean, look at you. You look like you look like Frankenstein's monster with that fucking chin and that fucking forehead. You're unkempt. You're ugly as sin. You don't have a job. You live on government assistance. Not that I have a problem with that. But you obviously have no plans for the future other than trying to recapture your youth.
Encouraging both myself and Mary to kill ourselves. Numbers upon numbers upon numbers of times. So with me, they regularly would tell me to go kill myself, even having my former friend tell me to kill myself several times.
No. Eliana told you to leave her the fuck alone or die in Minecraft. Or commit die in Minecraft. So again, James, those are her words. Nobody paid her to say that shit. And nobody told Adrasia to kill herself. Nobody has ever told Adrasia to kill herself. We're telling her not to kill herself. Hell, Adonis Paul has decided to not cover Adrasia anymore because he knows that this has nothing to do with him. All this bullshit has nothing to do with him. And she can't keep his fucking name out of her fucking mouth. And same with you.
They've also alluded to me following in my father's footsteps, knowing that my father had committed suicide, and they even offered to buy Mary a pistol and a single round. Okay? Telling someone to kill themselves.
Where's the proof, James? Where's the proof that we told Mary to buy a handgun with one bullet? Where is it? I'm beginning to think that you made that up just to start some shit with AP and the fuck people. No one told her to buy a handgun. We told her to get the fuck off the internet and go to the hospital if she's feeling suicidal.
Is a crime. It's illegal. Falsify or impersonating an attorney. I have a number of.
Okay, nobody impersonated an attorney. Again, you're making this shit up. You're pulling shit out of your own ass to incriminate AP and Hatman and all these other reaction channels. Because again, you don't like it when people... You're trying to silence people so that others won't see you as a monster. You obviously don't know how other people think.
Emails from people impersonating an attorney to try and convince me that they that I had a restraining order filed against me from Argentina, which I never did.
There was no need for a restraining order. They saw that you were being a creep, you were stalking a woman, and you obviously don't know when... You obviously don't understand no means no. What part of no don't you understand, James?
Going back to the falsified criminal records, I was never banned from Argentina. How do I know I was never banned from Argentina? Well,
Okay. Yeah. You were never banned from Argentina. Yeah, I can vouch for that. They said that because, again, they don't want you to find... they don't want you to show up at Eliana's house because, again, you're a creepy stalker. You might do something really, really illegal if you ever had the opportunity because you were so enveloped in your fantasies. And it's the same, and it's pretty much what we're seeing right now. Leave Eliana the fuck alone. And I know you're not bringing her name up in your videos because, again, she told you to leave her name out of your shit. But we all know you're going to slip up eventually.
Because unlike the average moron, when I'm told I'm banned from Argentina, I go and I email the consulate of Argentina and have them do a criminal background check on me in Argentina to find out what's what with me in Argentina, because I was planning on going to Argentina and I didn't want any problems.
Yeah, but unfortunately, James, your fantasies are not going to be enough. So you're going to invent some excuse to try and make yourself look innocent. So you're just going to tackle on the whole gang stalker mentality, saying that these people are trying to have been following me for years.
Needless to say, I was never banned from Argentina, and you couldn't have had me banned from Argentina with falsified criminal records anyway, and if you did, that would be a very interesting situation, a very interesting international incident. Okay? So we have impersonating an attorney, falsifying criminal records forgery, which is what that is, and also telling people to kill themselves. What else have these people done? Well, they've mailed Mary physical evidence of their harassment, a shovel, which they've bragged about, which is to try and intimidate her about the falsified criminal charges they keep making up about her.
James, those were not falsified. You're sounding like G-Man right now, saying that, oh, these people are falsifying evidence. There was no criminal case. They did nothing wrong. Again, you're trying to white knight for Mary because you don't know the full story. You're starting to sound like G-Man right now. And that guy is fucking insane. That guy, G-Man, he should have been institutionalized a long ass time ago, pre-Reagan era. Same with Shani and Ref.
To try and make the public hate her. Let's see. I need a little bit of a refresher here, but I should have wrote these down. There's a lot of crimes that these people have committed over the course of, I don't know, less than a year. Terroristic threats. How many terroristic threats have I received from the trolls in the comment section of my videos that can be traced to Daywave, Nightwave, and the other...
Again, what? Okay, James, what terroristic threats have we made on you? We told you to leave Eliana the fuck alone. We told you that Eliana doesn't want you. Hell, Hatman forged a fake girl to keep you from stalking Eliana. But you're James, you have the mental dexterity. You have the mental dexterity of someone who is still in high school. I could say the same about all the other cows I could say the same about the other cows, but that's just being generous. To quote, I mean, come on, James. Your lasagna ain't cooked all the way. Your lasagna ain't cooked all the way in the middle. You're a few sandwiches short of a picnic. You're cuckoo. You're batshit crazy. And you like to invent some dumbass narrative thinking that someone with half a brain is going to believe you. Same with Mary. And we don't need to do anything to make people hate Mary. She does it all by herself. If anything, you're the ones stalking us. You and Mary are the ones harassing us. You're the ones that are trying to provoke a response from AP, Daywave, Hatman, Virgie. You're trying to provoke a response from these people. And they don't want anything to do with you. Yeah, sure, AP likes to show some of your videos on his show because, again, it pisses you off. And two, you try to go after his daughter. And now AP has a purpose to want to put you away for the rest of your life. Or put you down like the rabid dog you are.
ROTC family of shows. Many. Adonis Paul threatened to commit an act of sexual violence against me. Literally challenged me to a karate match. And
where's the proof that Adonis Paul was going to rape you? Where's the proof that he was going to challenge a karate match to you? Again, what he said, he didn't threaten to rape you. He is assuring that if they find out that you were dangerous and people, that you were preying on minors, your ass is going to end up in prison. And where you're going, you're not going to need teeth because they like it with the gums.
Proceeded to threaten to rape me.
Oh my god, what? Oh my god. Are you taking pages from the Adrazia playbook? Or are you just ripping off Adrazia so that... Oh my god. This goes to show that you have no original bone in your body. You're just ripping off Adrazia. Oh... This came out of left field. I mean, are you fucking kidding me, James?
Remember that one? A threat of sexual violence? So I've received terroristic threats, threats to murder me, and threats of rape against me. People have also made many similar threats to Mary, a defenseless woman with schizoaffective disorder. Okay? If you people think this is going to play out well for you,
no, she's still raging at AP. But AP ain't gonna give her attention. Sorry about that, Maine.
you're fools.
You're not.
Luckily, I know that you're fools. What you have to understand is I have 2 Pennsylvania counties, several mental health professionals, and the police that recognize that I was not delusional. These things are happening, and I have the evidence that they're happening. I have physical form, photos, screenshots I've taken of this. There's video evidence of you idiots making videos about it and then using them to make money off of it.
Again, where's the proof? All we are we're just mocking you. Most of the guys are just mocking you for the stupid shit that you say. We're not threatening your ass. We're just mocking your ass. I think the person you are thinking of is Randolph fucking Vance. And we disavowed that fucker a long ass time ago. He is hiding, waiting for an opportunity to make a comeback. But we all know that he is too much of a pussy to even go toe-to-toe against the fuck people. And the fact that Randolph Vance wants to befriend you is so funny. And yeah, Randolph Vance was trying to butter up to me because he got kicked out of several communities. So he was trying to find my community to hide under. Dude, Randolph, I am so glad that I got to find out who the fuck you were and how much of a piece of shit Randolph Vance was. I am so glad that people explained their grievance about Randolph. Otherwise, I would have been an idiot. I mean...
And you're too stupid to understand that that's going to bite you in the ass. And the other thing is, Mary has physical evidence. You mailed her a shovel, for God's sakes.
That's not a threat. We weren't threatening her with a shovel. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. A fucking joke, James. And she could have sold that shovel for weed money, but she kept it. It was a joke. You take shit way too seriously, dude. Hell, even she acknowledged that it was a joke. Which goes to show that she's full of shit. So again, you lose, James.
That just happens to have all of your names on it? Come on now. Let's not be completely stupid. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot who I was talking to. You know, this is what's ridiculous about it. So yeah, when Lower Bucks Hospital investigates and discovers, oh my God, I offered to take somebody out to lunch for free. I offered to pay for somebody's lunch.
Again, you were trying. No. I don't know. I don't know about the whole thing with the nurse, but honestly, you have a habit of obsessing over women who show any ounce of kindness towards you. You think they're perfect breeding partners. You know who said that? Lucas fucking Werner. And that guy is gone from YouTube. That guy is gone as fuck. No more Lucas Werner. He's a piece of shit. And you, James, but you're still here. Actually, we're just gonna... You know what? We'll probably stop talking about you eventually because, again, you repeat yourself over and over again. It's become repetitive at this point that you, James Robert Clark, are never going to learn from your lessons. You're just going to keep doing the same shit. Do you know what the definition of insanity is, James? I'm looking at it on my screen. You're the definition of insanity. You're repeating the same shit over and over again, expecting a different outcome. You're expecting someone to speak up for you and pretty much try to advocate for some campaign to stop cyber terrorism. And last I checked, no one is cyber terrorizing you. It's all in your fucked up head. You're making mountains out of molehills. It ain't gonna go anywhere with you, James. So just stop it. Stop this shit now, or there will be consequences. Because you know, we can bring the law into this. And just to let you know, nobody fabricated your criminal record. It's public. There's a FOIA. It's a FOIA request. Do you know what a FOIA request is, James? Freedom of Information Act. Same with Adrastia. Someone put in a FOIA request to find out about the murder case. Because again, what Adrastia says in her book does not match up with the actual case. And the only reason why you're simping for Adrastia is because, again, you want an ally in your quest against the internet. You do know that you two cannot take on the internet on your own, because it's the internet. And the fact you, James, take it way too seriously goes to show you obviously have no life outside of your little bubble. And you claim that you work in mental health. No, dude. You were a patient who then became a peer counselor.
And offered to take somebody to the gym. That's terrifying, right? That's absolutely horrifying. I'm a monster, right? I'm a horrible, rotten monster, right? Right? That's what you're trying to get across. Well, the thing is, I have the authorities on my side, I have 2 counties on my side, and I have the mental health department of one of the counties on my side. So we'll see how this turns out, because this is slowly but surely exposing this international cyber terrorist ring for what it is. Let's not forget extortion. Remember the emails you sent Mary trying to extort money out of her? You remember that?
No one was extorting money from Mary. Again, Mary, nobody was extorting money from her. That was a joke. That was a joke to prove that Mary will believe in what random trolls tell her in her comments. There were no emails. Adonis Paul never sent her an email demanding money from her. Virgie never sent emails demanding money from her. It was just a bunch of trolls who were trying to fuck with her. Because Adrazia craves attention. She likes to start turmoil out of nothing. So yeah, you lose again, James. And this conspiracy theory bullshit is why people make fun of you, is because you come up with these dumbass conspiracy theories saying that, oh, these people are terrorists. You know who said that? Von fucking Helton. Von Helton says shit like, oh, these people are cyber terrorizing me. They got me. They had my kids. They took away my kids. They told Andrea to leave me. Are we sure that James Clark is not another Von Helton variant? It's bad enough we have people like Negs and Rev as variants of Von Helton, but do we really want to add James Clark as another variant? We all know that Von Helton likes his girls young and fresh too.
Do you remember the fraud of impersonating Mary's PayPal account to try and get her PayPal account banned? Let's see. Fraud is a felony.
Okay, dumbass. We didn't get her PayPal account banned. She did that on her own. She got her own PayPal account banned because she doxed someone. She doxed someone who gave money to her. She has a habit of doxing people whenever they are deemed useless to her. So again, Mary likes to manipulate the situation. She tries to manipulate the narrative, hoping that someone will see her as the victim. And unfortunately, you were dumb enough to fall for her ploys. But then again, the reason why you're defending her is because you have a hate boner for Adonis Paul. Because again, he's exposing you as a creepy stalker and a potential pedophile. But my question is James a pedophile? I'd say I'm teetering on yes and no. For obvious reasons is that he's never pursued underage girls, nor has he ever tried stalking underage girls. We know he's a stalker. We know he's had a felony charge for night prowling. And we know that he is a serial stalker. And he's trying to cover his tracks. He's trying to paint it as if he was being the one stalked. James, you're not just crazy, you're also dumb.
Okay, that's what you people have committed: fraud, extortion, encouraging people to commit suicide, terroristic threats. Mail, sending terroristic threats through the mail at people, which is a felony. You guys just can't help yourselves. You're too damn dumb, and it will bite you all in the asses.
I'll be waiting, James.
It's just what's going to happen. You can't stop yourselves, and that's all for this video.
Yeah, James. Good luck with that shit. It's not gonna go anywhere. And speaking of what's not gonna go anywhere.
Alright, so, the tea last night was very good. It didn't put me to sleep, but it did definitely kind of zone me out. I went like 2 hours without even thinking about hitting the goal. I was playing games on my phone. I've been playing Secret of Evermore. I know I said I was gonna play Super Mario, but I needed to get a new controller because the down button on my pad doesn't work, and when I'm using the directional swirl stick, I wind up, I don't know, Mario just flies off of cliffs. You can't control him as easily with.
Yeah, Mary. Hasn't it ever occurred to you that you suck at video games? Even emulator games, you suck at that? Why is it always these idiots? Why is it always the ones that have the mind of a teenager? Also, like the stream, folks. Like the stream. Share this with your friends if you need to. And subscribe, because we need more followers for the cult of Zilla, so that we could sacrifice James and Mary to the blood gods.
The stick as you can with the pad, so I had to give up on Mario. I've been playing oh god. So I had to give up on Mario. I'm back. Cheap ass phone.
Yeah, her video cut out because it's a cheap ass phone. Man, Mary, that phone was gifted to you by the taxpayers. So yeah, it's a cheap ass Obama phone that was given to you when you came to California.
So the tea was a good idea. It's a little expensive, so I'm probably not going to be getting it very often. Sleeping was not a good idea, though. I've been having nightmares about last year.
Ooh.
And it's just getting to me, you know.
What are you, Moon Knight?
It's fucked up that these people are allowed to do this. That nothing's ever gonna happen to them for it, you know? Because, well, the police do it, and they're only doing things that the police do. My mind is completely fucked up by this. Like, I'm having nightmares about being called and interrogated over and over and over again by these people. Like I was last year. Because last year, Virgie had my phone number. And for months on end, that phone wouldn't stop ringing if I didn't answer it. And if I did answer it, it was him questioning and interrogating and lying to me and just trying his best to convince me that I was going to be put in prison. They were going to put me in prison for this crime that I did not commit. But it didn't matter if I committed it or not, because they were going to interrogate me until I said something, anything that
This is either, like what VMAX says, this is either another excuse, or this is another fake panic attack, or just another excuse to get sympathy. We know the dance. We know this dance, Mary. We've seen this before so many goddamn times. And you know what? It's not gonna work. We know that you like to continue to lie, but continuing to lie will not help you this time. And the fact that you think that people are this stupid goes to show that you care very little about what other people think about you. So you just continue to make up these weird ass conspiracy theories saying that, oh, these people are still trying to kill me. No, the fuck they're not. They're trying to get you the fuck off the internet if you are having suicidal ideations.
into a murder conviction. And endless days of days and days and days of phone calls by this man, and just
Virgie G's was banned off YouTube. He is blacklisted. Virgie G got blacklisted from YouTube. Hell, they said Susan has him on the blacklist because he's too based and red pilled. They don't like people who are red pilled on here.
it still feels like it's never gonna end, you know? It still feels like it's never going to stop.
Yes,
because, well, the police do this. The police can entrap somebody. They can lock somebody up and interrogate them for hours or days on end. They can starve them. They can lie to them. They can do whatever they need to do to get the confession. And so, when these men wanted to get a confession from me, even though they're not police, and they're not supposed to have the rights to do that, they feel like they can do anything that the police can do, so they were perfectly fine spending months terrorizing and harassing me in order to get what they wanted. And yet somehow I'm still not in jail after...
They have no... Of course you're not in jail, Mary. You're not in jail because, again, they didn't need your testimony. Kenneth already confessed to the murder, so they didn't need to acquit you. And probably because you were so mentally unstable that you were too mentally unstable for you were not mentally fit for trial. So again, your incompetence saved your ass.
After an entire year and a half of this harassing interrogation, I'm somehow still not in prison. They worked me up enough to get what they wanted. They got me. What did I say? I said I knew what happened in that house because there were only 3 people in that house, and whatever.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. The reason why we're bringing this up is because your stories conflict with the actual stories. The stories in your book conflict with what actually happens. So, yeah, Mary, you're full of shit. And people can pull up receipts from like Salvation Army or Goodwill. They can pull up receipts, like pawning receipts, pawn tickets. They could pull up pawn tickets. There were receipts for pawn tickets that they can pull up. They can, issue a FOIA request to bring up the case and reopen it to connect the dots to see that most of it conflicts with your book. And not to mention the video footage of you and Kenneth going to the Walmart to purchase the shovel. Yeah, there's that. So again, Mary, it's our word against yours. Same goes with you, James.
What I meant was there was only 3 people living there. But they twisted it and said, see, you're in the house, you're in the house, you're in the house, you're in the house, you're going to prison, you're going to prison, you're going to prison. And I wasn't, I was locked in the truck.
That's now you're going back to saying you were locked in the truck. I thought you were a witness to the murder. I thought you were a witness and a victim. Now you're going back to saying you were locked in the truck? Again, this is why nobody believes you, Mary. Because, again, your stories conflict with one another. One minute you're saying, I was locked in the truck. The next saying, I watched helplessly as Kenneth murdered Roberta. Now you see why nobody is going to believe you? You pretty much, we don't need to find evidence to incriminate you. You're doing it yourself. Unintentionally, you're unintentionally doing it to yourself.
But it doesn't matter because they took that one sentence and they twisted it and said, see, that says you're in the house. And it didn't because it went...
Mary, you admitted that you witnessed the murder. You admitted that you witnessed Kenneth murdering Roberta. So again, we're not making this shit up. We're going by your words. We're not twisting it. You said it. You said that you saw him murder Roberta. Now you're saying you were in the truck. Now you said that you were a witness to a murder, but now you're saying you were locked in a truck? This is why nobody is going to believe you. And nobody should believe you because you do this to yourself all the goddamn time.
We were the only ones living there. I knew what happened because there were only 3 people living in that house at the time, and I was in the truck. And so if there's only 2 people in a building and one of them dies and the other one comes out and says, I killed her, it's pretty clear to the 3rd person what happened in that house. Like, how am I not supposed to know what happened when...
Because you said you were a witness?
Fucked up. This is gonna have me fucked up for a while. Congratulations, y'all are now a part of my PTSD. I'm literally having nightmares about the things that you've done to me.
Nope. That's just the guilt. No. Like what, it's clear he got it done like you demanded. BMAC says, this won't get you sympathy. This is either your guilt getting to you or a plea for attention. I'd go with the latter, BMAC. It's probably her guilt getting to her. I mean, because she knows. She knows she's guilty. She knows, but she doesn't want to admit it. That's why I always like to cover Mary. Even after I said that I was going to be done with her, I just can't help myself. It's a fascinating... I just want to see someone implode. Because, again, it goes to show how much of a pathological liar Mary is.
You must be so proud of yourselves. Not okay. I live every day terrified that these men are going to come back and torture me again every single day. I wake up afraid of what they're going to do to me.
And she does this to herself. She goes through these extreme lengths to try and pin it on someone else. She rips off the bars of her windows. She bangs her head on the wall. She writes someone's name in her arm with her own blood. She goes above and beyond to try and pin it on someone else, trying to create some false narrative that she was victimized by internet people. She doesn't know that other people have lives to live. They have jobs. They have an income. And she is, and like what Adonis Paul described her best, she is a literal beggar. And she tries to deny that we know much about her life, to call her a literal lazy bum. She is a lazy bum. She doesn't want to do things for herself. She doesn't want to improve her life for herself. She would rather sit on her ass and smoke weed, get high, and forget all her troubles.
Every single day. And then I go to bed at night and I have nightmares about the things that they've already done to me. It's not a game. It's not a joke. It's not funny. The last year of my life has...
It stopped being funny when you wrote Virgie's name in your arm in your own blood. And Aunt Kathy and Cousin Sarah has detailed that this is the same pattern of behavior you exhibit on a regular basis that you exhibited back when you were living with your grandmother, and you threatened hell, you even went as far as to slitting your wrists to the point where it would pool all over the floor and all over the wall whenever grandma didn't give you money for drugs. I don't know if any of those was exaggerated, but I would rather listen to Aunt Kathy's story than yours any day, because Aunt Kathy and Cousin Sarah felt the blunt of your wrath when you threaten to kill yourself over trivial matters. You threaten self-harm whenever you don't get your way. You are a spoiled brat.
Just genuinely messed my mind up. Not just in the fact that I'm off my medication now and not in therapy and probably going to be homeless again, but just the acts themselves have messed my mind up. They won't leave my mind. I
think it's just guilt. It's not... I think the reason for your nightmares is because the guilt is weighing heavy on your conscience. And you have the urge to admit to the police that you were involved in a murder case that took place a decade ago. Well, 15 years ago.
Thinking about them, I keep fearing it happening again. And y'all can sit back and laugh and say, well, it was just trolling. Trolling doesn't have these long-term psychological effects. It went so far beyond trolling that
Yeah. This is not troll. It's guilt. You're feeling guilty for what happened to Roberta, and it's eating at your subconscious.
I'm literally traumatized by you people. And I have no place else to go because this is where I was when you found me.
Well, there was, but she took it down. She did a live stream, but she took it down immediately. No one had the heart to archive it because no one wanted that. Excuse me. And that's going to do it for tonight's shit. That's going to do it for tonight. It's a really good thing because, again, we might do more Adrazia shit. Probably because she's the only moneymaker on my channel. And yeah, tomorrow night is the Zilla show. And we'll be going over some of the recent foodie drama. We might take a look at some Letitia. Well, more Letitia, but not the crazy shit. But we're also going to be looking at some drama in the IP2 community. And we might take a look at what Ralph's been up to. So be on the lookout for that shit. If you like what you saw, please hit that like button, share this with your friends, subscribe if you have to, and if you feel generous and want to donate a few dollars my way, you can always check out my PayPal or my Cash App. Links are in the description as well as in the pinned comment. I want to thank everyone for taking time. I figured that I did something wrong, and I might have put it on normal latency instead of low latency. So, yeah. Sorry for that mix-up. But, again, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you for sticking around, and thank you for showing up. I am Rickzilla, and I just want to say, this was a fun Easter, so, happy belated Easter to everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow on Easter Monday. Good night, good evening, or good morning, wherever you are, and sayonara.